Well, hello there, Mike.
Fuck or bugger.
That is true. Fuck or bugger. But the question is, Mike, is this real or fake?
Um. Ooh.
How well do you know frogs and also plants?
So I. What's fuck all? Right.
No frogs or plants in Red Dead?
Well, yes, both of those things exist, but I
Then
know
you've seen
fuck all
them.
about them. My life does not exist around.
Well,
I
I'm just trying to
think
think. I'm
this
just trying to think
is.
of where you've seen them. Also, in your profile picture, there are flowers.
There are flowers, indeed.
Now, those ones
Um,
are fake, Mike.
that is correct because that is from Midjourney.
Yes.
Um, Look at the little cat, though. I'm going to say that this is. Oh, this is actually quite tricky. I think this is fake.
Okay, why do you think it's fake? Anything that draws your eye away to thinking it's fake?
A few reasons. One, the bottom left of the flower almost looks a little bit like a hand, like in its texture.
Okay.
Like, I don't necessarily think that on its own would be enough to be like, yeah, nah. But the edges around the upper parts of the flower also look a little swoopy.
Hmm. Honestly, I thought it would be the way the frog is squished in. Like, it looks very compact. I guess frogs just do that
I
because
could see that.
this is real.
Huh, fair. I have lost my
Don't
touch.
worry, Mike. You know, I thought you've not been here in a while. I'll give you another photo. Real or fake?
My touch. Oh dear. That's real?
You're correct. It is real. Now, those two
Do you know
pictures
what?
have.
The rocks
Uh-huh.
don't look particularly real.
I know they don't. The reflections are probably what sell it on being real.
Hmm. Honestly,
But the
I was
reason
basing it
I have,
entirely off the lily pads.
well, the reason I have both of these is because there's quite a few stories about frogs for some reason.
Okay. It's not because you're my little frog champ.
I am your little frog champ.
Okay.
But first, do you remember that individual who was rocking around America called Alex Jones?
Was he the one who was denying all the school shootings?
Yes, and also he says that water's turning the frogs gay. See, everything goes back to frogs.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm unconvinced we want to spend long on this one.
Oh no, we don't, because it's just a picture. Because this is a tweet he posted.
Okay.
And obviously people are taking the piss because it's you can see why he can't read between the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just gonna eat ass.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Now, obviously, Mike, you can on X or Twitter, you can retweet, you can post, you can like. They seem like pretty good functions, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem hospitally enough because Elon Musk
What?
is planning to hide like counts, retweets, and yeah, yep, gonna make it nice and clean.
Okay, so
Taking a page from YouTube's book of hiding the dislike bar.
yeah, much for us to like praise the big man child, but I don't hate that.
I mean, I'm not. I'm indifferent to it, but
Because there
I
is a
will
lot
say it is
going
boring
on.
as hell.
Sure, there is a lot going on a Twitter page though. So like,
Yes.
I open up Twitter, sorry, the website formerly known as Twitter, and like you have your post, and then you have an entire bar worth of numbers, and your what's happening page
Mm-hmm.
is tells you what's trending based on the number of posts there are, and it tells you how many times that a tweet from, I don't know,
Big Dave.
whatever. Yeah, Big Dave has had his new tweet viewed 51,000 times. So, like, I get it.
Okay, fair. Now, speaking of Twitter, or something that you'd
Yes.
see a lot on Twitter, what have
Yeah.
they recently sent to space?
Uh, Twitter.
No. It is a sort of a living organism type of thing that grows in bodies.
Okay, run that by me again.
It is a sort of organism or substance that grows in bodies.
It grows in bodies.
Yes.
People bodies?
No, no, no. Think about a deadly disease.
Uh, Plague.
Cancer.
Okay.
They've
I would,
sent...
I'm gonna level with you here. The first one I was gonna say was ringworm.
Ah, no, that's fair. Like,
So-
to be fair, quite a lot of things like that, like tardigrades, they send them into space because surprisingly they're resilient to space. Now,
yeah.
why have they sent cancer to space? Like,
I don't know. Probably to fuck with the aliens.
Honestly, does make sense. However, would you like to know a really interesting fact about what happens to the cells of cancer in space?
Absolutely.
They grow 3 times faster,
Okay.
meaning that by looking at this and them growing almost instantaneously,
They can see
they're
what it will
hoping that they
become.
can see where they can stop it
Yeah.
in its full life cycle. Also, my brain can't comprehend, because I'm not a rocket scientist, why it does it 3 times faster. I believe it's
There's
something to do
gravity?
with the... yes, I'm having to assume it's to do something with the lack of gravity. so it can expand rapidly. But I hope it goes well. It's kind of interesting. Just as soon as I heard the story, I was like, okay, they've just sent cancer to space just another day.
I mean, whatever helps.
Now, Mike, you have a car.
Yes.
Do you want to get free petrol?
Sure.
Well, if you were lived in Nebraska, you could, because this woman has used her rewards card's loophole for 7,000 gallons of free gasoline.
Okay, if it's a loophole, why is she facing criminal charges?
Because technically she got it for free.
Okay, do they say how?
Yes.
Let's go.
So, in a nutshell, what she did was she swiped her rewards card twice, which caused the pump to go into a showroom state, and it just pumped out free gas.
Okay, so she didn't. It wasn't a loophole.
No, it was just their stupid system.
Okay, so
to be fair, if you
so it was a bug, not a feature.
yes, it was definitely a bug, not a feature. But the fact is, you could easily just accidentally swipe your card twice, just thinking it didn't work. It's like how people double click on something and then it's like, oh, I've opened up 2 pages.
Exactly.
I don't think she should be getting done for it. I think the company should be like, well, we fucked it.
I mean, you do it once, you go, oops. You do it again, you're deliberately doing it.
I mean,
there's a certain amount of willful acknowledgement there.
I mean, she did it 510 times over 6 months. She was like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's because she was like doing it to mates as well. It's like, don't worry, guys, I got the gas.
Yeah, you do it you do it once, you accidentally do it, you go, ooh, that was cool. You do it every time you are like, I get it. She's basically stolen.
Oh yeah.
And 7,000 gallons of petrol.
God.
That's a lot of money.
Now, Mike, what would you do with $1 million worth of sand?
Sell it.
Sell it? Well,
yes.
Luckily, Mike, this place is in the market for $1 million worth of sand.
Hoorah. Because is it a beach?
Yes. Well, you see, they built one. It cost $500,000. And it was washed away in a few days.
Is this part of what the fuck do you think would happen?
Yeah, but obviously, they'd put all this $500,000 together, put a big protective sand dune, and as you can see, it just fucking washed away instantly. Because weirdly enough, guess what washed it away?
Was it the water?
Yeah, it was the water. It's as if sand...
The Toid
is not resilient to water.
The Toid.
Of course, would you like to see... do you want to know what they said about their waste of money?
Yeah.
The sacrificial dune did its job.
Lisan al-Gaib?
Now...
You said the word dune.
I was wondering what you're on about. I was like,
Have you not seen Dune?
I still haven't seen the second Dune. The first Dune, the first Dune I have seen, and I was like, I'm hoping the second one is better because the first one was just lots of walking in sand. There was a couple of good scenes. But yeah, to save face, they were like, oh well, that wasn't the real Dune. That was just a sacrificial Dune. We knew it would wash away.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Look at this. What do you mean it's a sacrificial dune? You paid $500,000.
Bless him.
Would you like your doctor, Mike, to be short or tall?
I don't think I care.
You don't care?
But
Great.
There's probably going to be some sort of weird study that says you're more likely to accept a short doctor.
I believe there is a study to say that you're more likely to trust someone with a mustache. Or beard, I believe.
Interesting. Is it because beard mean wisdom?
I guess so. I guess that's the idea. Also, to trust
dumb.
Or it's also the same with trust. It seems more trustworthy to someone if you have a pipe.
Yeah, so dumb.
It's probably just a weird subconscious because you see it in like movies and TV. But the reason I mention it is because this meat Ganesh Birariyar.
The world's
He's 23 years
shortest
old.
doctor.
Despite facing discrimination because of his short stature, he is the world's shortest doctor. Good for him.
Cool. Unfortunately, he does not look old.
Yes, also, if that's his office, I don't think he should have a Mickey Mouse towel in the
No,
back.
he probably should not have a Mickey Mouse.
It's not the... I mean, if he works in, like, you know, like, he does doctoring for kids, that's fine.
I don't think it would be a good idea if he was a child doctor.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, he's
Although,
3 foot tall.
although he does at least look a bit more of his age there.
He does, but there, no.
Yeah, no. That looks like that really looks like he's waiting for the doctor to come.
Yes, it does.
And it's
very unfortunate.
It's a bit like that. There was a I think he had dwarfism, and he was on a date with a woman, and they got to the restaurant, and then the servers came around and brought him crayons and a drawing book.
Oh, bless! I feel so sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but it is. Yeah. It's one of those things. Now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh. Do you know what the EPA is, Mike?
No.
It's the Environmental Protection Agency. It's an American thing. Now,
yes.
Can you tell me what substance that was used in homes for building
Asbestos.
that is extremely toxic? It was also used in The Wizard of Oz as snow.
Is it asbestos?
It is asbestos. Now, why in God's green earth would I be talking about asbestos in 2024?
Probably because someone somewhere in America has used it in new builds.
Oh no, well, Mike, lucky for you, they finally decided to ban asbestos.
Woo!
Because it was still being used in buildings up until recently.
I am so proud of them.
Yeah, good for them. You know, they've realised that asbestos, not good. Maybe
Jesus
we should
Christ.
not do the old asbestos.
While we're at it, should we also stop pumping sewage into the drinking water?
Well, we already covered that, Mike. You see, the UK government, they said they were going to fix that by 2027.
That's cute.
Yeah, but then they
When did
moved
they
it
say
back,
that?
remember? They moved it back to 2064.
Oh, yeah, that is the absolute physical embodiment definition, call it what you like, of empty promises. That is the emptiest promise of all. You know that meme where the guy is it's the security guard, and he's a bit older, and he doesn't even get in the postcode while searching them. That is the equivalent of that as an empty promise.
It's just ridiculous. Like, that was one of those stories where I came across it, and I was just like, when I saw that story, this would have been last year.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw that story, I was like, okay, they've moved it how much? Just so many years.
Just the 37 years.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like,
I mean,
there could be no Tory party,
very...
no Labour party. Well, it would have been under the Tory government, and they set this metric, so there might not even be a Tory party.
That's very deliberate, though.
I know. It's not great. Now, Mike.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have. Well, I have a pretty good butt, but I don't have a nice pair of breasts.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Mike, these may help me on Twitch because there's a new kind of stream taking off on Twitch.
Okay.
You see, streamers are playing games on boobs and butts.
Interesting.
Obviously with green screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the future, Mike. It's the future now. Back in my day, you only had a green screen behind you. Now it's on your pants.
Now you are the green screen. I was forged in the green screen,
Now,
molded by it.
which state has banned? Which state has Pornhub banned itself in?
The answer's Texas.
You are correct. Yes, Texas shuts down, and Pornhub shuts down in Texas. I see you knew about this already.
I did, yes.
Well, let's go to stories we've covered before, or for some reason, stories that we have covered, and for some reason they've come back.
To bite us.
Yes. Now, obviously, recently, the Willy Wonka experience. Absolute shit show, but the backdrops are now going on sale.
Okay, what's wrong with them?
Oh, the original Willy Wonka experience was garbage. As you can see, there was like Oompa Loompas in a meth lab.
Okay.
It was literally a scam.
Right.
It was in Glasgow. And yeah, the pictures, which are on like a canvas, are going for $1,000 because obviously it's such a weird bit of
Iconic
history.
failure.
Yeah, it's like Fire Festival, but no one was hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Mike, what is at the bottom of the ocean? It ended up there in 1912.
The Titanic?
Yes. Now, what's the number after 1?
2?
That's right, baby! Titanic 2!
Electric Boogaloo?
Now, this guy, Clive Palmer, we've covered him before, and he was meant to have built the Titanic like ages ago.
Yeah.
But now he's finally got all the shit sorted, and it's going for its maiden voyage in 2027.
Okay. Do you know what they need to do?
Yeah, what? Make sure that there's no icebergs on the route. Go in the daytime.
Probably look out for obstacles.
Probably. Send a rescue ship with the ship. Because
Maybe
just so you know, it is going on the same voyage the original one took.
They've got no excuse. Like, for fuck's sake.
The fact is, anytime you see this shit, because he wanted to make this ages ago, and now he's finally gotten around to it. And he always said, I'm going to make it the maiden voyage that the Titanic had. The issue with that is the maiden voyage the Titanic had went to the bottom of the sea. Unless this Titanic can turn into a fucking submarine, it's not what you want.
So I assume, and just gonna go out on a limb here, that the idea is going to be that it will complete the voyage, not replicate the voyage.
Yes, that is the idea, that it will complete the voyage. Like, the thing is, he thinks it's going to be very like 1912, when I don't think it will be. Like, the interior is going to be like 1912, but there's still going to be people on TikTok running around and, like, doing stupid shit.
Oh, look, I'm on the Titanic. Oh.
Like, that's the thing, is just not understanding.
Did I get it right?
Yeah. But we've covered Clive Palmer before, because he's a complete nutter of a billionaire.
Is it more money than sense?
Yeah, he just does loads of wild, wacky shit. Also, he is one of Australia's living national treasures.
Okay.
Now,
is he though?
Well, do you want to know how you get the title?
Sure.
People vote for you. And
okay.
he asked everyone in his company to vote for him.
Interesting. Of course he did.
So he's there
very
by technicality.
That's very main character of him.
It's very main character. It's very funny though. Oh god. Now, last year there were art installations, Mike. They were giant, they were reflective, and they appeared randomly. Do you remember what they were?
Were they in the Middle East and they were trying to do something funky?
They were.
Were they the right ones?
They were in. One was in Arizona. One was in the UK.
Okay, then no, I don't remember them.
Okay.
I think I remembered the ones that were like trying to build Sky Fortress.
No, 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 no. What it is it's these, the monoliths. Do you remember these now?
No, I don't.
So last year there was this weird thing where there were just monoliths randomly placed around by just some artist.
Uh,
No one knows why they were there or when they were placed there, and now another one's appeared on top of a Welsh hill.
huh,
And it's not like some weird alien technology. It's just
just metal,
it's just steel.
reflective metal.
Yeah, it's just steel. Yeah, so that's another thing we came across last year, and for some reason it's back. I think it's following us, Mike. This we now need to worry.
Lovely.
Do you like Harry Potter?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Now that's a good. It's a good thing you didn't say you still do.
Is it
Because
because my favorite catchphrase?
no, it's actually because you should fucking get over it. Says Miriam Margoyle.
Yes. Yeah, I read this the other day.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah,
it's 25 years ago. Get over it. Grow up.
bit weird.
It's so stupid. I
It
mean,
is a little bit, isn't it?
I mean, it is, but it's like, people like what they like. I'm not going to give them shit about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a kids' movie, but like, if they like it so much, then let them have it.
There's also a yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, would you like to live on a train?
No.
Well, this German teenager did. She left her parents' home to live exclusively on trains for the last half a year and a half, sorry.
How did it work?
Um, Sleeping on night trains at night, and she was a self-employed coder during the day.
Interesting.
So she just lived on trains.
I mean, if it works.
Anything from the snack car, dearie?
I mean, hey, he even convinced them.
But yeah.
He didn't just go and do it.
Oh, goodness. Now, Mike,
Yeah.
you've been to Scotland, where it is, it would be considerably colder than where we currently are.
Considerably, slightly.
Well, I
sure.
mean, you have to think it's further up north, so statistically, yes.
Sure.
Have you ever thought about sticking your feet in ice?
No, I am not that stupid.
Well, you could have probably told this guy, Mike, because man soaks his legs in dry ice for 10 hours to fake frostbite for insurance.
That is some that's some effort. The
Also,
lengths people will go to.
yes, also, dry ice is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think man's going to be faking frostbite.
No, he will be having frostbite. He's buggered pretty much. He had hoped to pocket 41 million toon, or 1.29 million US dollars. Yeah.
I
Chan
mean,
agreed to give up both his legs. After discussing
fuck
with the
do you
best
think?
course, he agreed to give up both of his legs for a slightly bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah, what the fuck do you think would happen?
So bizarre. Now, have you... You know those bags for life, Mike?
I do know there's bags for life, Mike.
Are they heavy?
No.
No. But what if they were lighter? Because
They'd
there's
probably
this.
also be.
Ooh.
I mean, that won't fit anything in it.
Yes. But a French company has made this new
Of course.
bag.
This is blatantly some sort of weird gimmick for a fashion week.
Now it's set 37 grams. As you can see, as it says, it's 99% air. What do you think the other percentage is, Mike, that makes up this bag?
I don't know. Nylon.
Glass.
Why? Why?
Because obviously, Mike, when I go out to the shopping centre,
It's basically a sandbag, not a handbag.
quite literally, yeah. But like, obviously, when I go to the shopping centre, I want something like a vase that I can put stuff in.
Jesus Christ.
So, just so you know, it is ultra lightweight, and okay, right. Apparently, it can withstand pressure 4,000 times its weight.
Yeah.
And heat up to 1,200 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
It also looks like it can only hold one Monster Energy, and that's it.
What is the fucking point?
It's made of glass. So, if stuff doesn't fit in that tiny little slot, you're fucked.
What is the fucking point?
Well, do you not want this fashion, Mike? You could be carrying a cloud. Admittedly, that cloud is made of glass.
So dumb.
God, you know what? I could probably just go in with, like, what? A glass bowl? And it would be about as effective.
If not more so.
Yeah. Well, why has a why has a wildlife center? What does a wildlife center? See, I can do segues, Mike. What does a wildlife center and the furries have in common?
Wow, that's quite the question.
I know. That's why you like me segues.
No, I have nothing.
Fursuits. Because
Thanks, I hate it.
no, I think you may not like the fursuit itself, but you might like the reason why they're doing it. So, Virginia Wildlife Center staff pretend to be foxes to care for a rescued newborn. So, they want it to be released back into captivity, so they don't want it to be imprinting itself on something that looks human.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I mean, to be fair, once they take off the mask, I mean, to be fair, you're not going to see many things like this in the wild, are you?
No, probably not.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're feeding it while wearing a fox mask. I mean, they're doing it for good reasons. It looks strange, but they're doing it for good reasons, so I'm down for it. But speaking of animals, dogs. Now, Mike, how much dog do you have in you?
Not a massive amount.
In fact, you should have 0%. Now, have you ever seen those DNA testing things?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I mention those DNA testing things is because they have one for pets.
Yeah.
And Pet DNA Testing Company is in the doghouse after identifying a human as a dog.
That's quite funny.
Yes. So she literally just gave her DNA, and they were like, oh, well, you're 40% Alaskan Malamute, 35% Shar-Pei, and 25% Labrador.
One suspects they didn't think through non-dog DNA.
Dog DNA. So yeah, Mike, do you think what percentage of dog breeds do you think you would be?
No. I'm going to respectfully decline that question.
Are you saying that we shouldn't play God with genetics, Mike?
Yes, that is not a great idea to do.
But that sounded like I was going into a segue, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Well, a Montana rancher of 80 pleads guilty to creating huge Frankensheep out of cloned Macropolo ram semen from Kyrgyzstan and his mountain ewes. Literally, he wanted to create massive sheep just so he could hunt them.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep. It was a 10-year long scheme. Also, the sheep that he was using were banned. They're completely illegal in the state.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what he's being charged for, the fact that it's illegal.
I mean, that looks horrific. I know it's not, but the first time I saw this picture, I thought that was their bottom jaw.
Yeah.
Do you see it? It looks like something out of thingy.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. They're big.
Yeah, normal sheep compared with the giant sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted literally to breed these things just so he could go and hunt them. The fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah.
I know, like, you know, when you retire, you're 80, you think you can get away with stuff, but maybe just don't. Now, Mike, you like cats.
I do like cats.
And obviously, you know, anytime you need some joy, you pet the cat in video games.
Yes.
Well, don't worry, Mike, we've got this cat for you. This Instagram famous feline looks like a real life cartoon character.
Kinda does, yeah. I don't like cats anymore. Look at his little face.
I thought so much for you not liking cats anymore.
He looks so scared.
He's seen shit.
He's seen so much shit.
I mean, he does just know he does live in Russia.
Yeah. He's probably that he's probably contorted his face like that to keep warm.
Yes. Like, literally, he looks like he's twitching. He looks like he's been through the war. Jesus.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Now, Mike, do you like to eat meat?
I do like meat.
Okay. Well, obviously, for some countries, meat is harder to come by. What do you think is a good meat solution? And I don't mean genetic meat. I mean, like, it has to come from an animal.
Mushroom.
No, it has to come... Mike, it has to
Wait.
come from an animal. You said mushroom.
But then it's not a non-meat option.
No, I'm saying what kind of meat as a protein substitute for common meats like beef, pork, you know, things like that.
Okay, that's not quite what I don't know how I misheard that.
So
that's
it's
fine.
a different kind of animal. What kind of animal would they use? So you want a steak, Mike, but you can't get a cow.
I mean, the first I'm assuming this is still a little too common, but venison was my first thought.
Yes, you're thinking it's not a mammal.
Let's go with lizard.
You know what? You're a lot closer, but think simplicity because the answer is snake.
Snake steak.
Python specifically, because they can grow extremely long, like they can grow like 30 feet. They're cheap, efficient. They grow like really quickly. How you feed them is rats. So
Yeah.
they deal with rodents, and how to skin them is they're just a stick. It's one all in one go. The bones they do have are very similar to fish, apparently. So they're very easy to deal with. So yeah, they're making an interesting alternative to unfriendly climate for unfriendly cows. Do you think you'd be down for snake?
I would probably give it a go. Honestly.
Yeah, I'd be down for snake. Have I tried snake? No, I've tried crocodile. I'd be down for snake. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Now, if any nation is willing to just be down for just the weirdest animal parts, which nation do you think it would be?
Okay, run that by me again.
So it's a nation that eats animal parts.
Yeah.
It's in Europe.
Okay, so that rules out a few Asian countries. I will go with France.
You are correct. Now, can you name one amphibian dish they have in France?
Frog's legs?
Yes. Now, what if I told you you may not be able to eat them soon?
Are they too toxic now because of the waters?
No. The French love them so much that they're endangering species.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Scientists and vets are urging the president to afford the world's most traded species better protection. Yeah, they're just saying you're literally eating a fuck ton of frogs. That's too many frogs.
Yeah,
80,
that makes sense.
80 to 200 million frogs a year are consumed in France. That's a lot of frogs.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because I was watching a small video from the England rugby team, and they were going through like from the chef's point of view, and they were going through just how much like fruits and nuts and berries and shit they ate. And
Yeah.
it's remarkable what like 40 men on a week camp can eat just in terms of like fruit.
It's just mind-boggling, honestly.
It is. So like when you compute, let's say, not maybe a national dish, but like something that's a delicacy, something that's readily consumed among restaurant goers, let's say, even mid-level restaurants,
Yeah.
let's argue. That's going to be a lot of frogs
It's a lot of
because you
frogs.
probably aren't just going to have one frog's worth of legs.
Have you ever had frog's legs?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, so I had to look up what people have described them as. They describe them as a
Chicken.
very soft and succulent chicken breast. Yeah, with a bit of oil and French sauce.
What's French sauce?
They're unsure what the French sauce is because it's just whatever they put on frogs' legs.
French sauce.
Now, weirdly enough, Mike, there's another frog story yet again,
Okay.
and that's the Goliath frog. This fucker.
Jesus, cunt.
This is the world's largest frog, and it's close to extinction. I swear, it's not because of the French. It is because of humans, but it's not because of this time. It's
those
not because
legs
of the
are
French.
fucking huge.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, do you want the extra large frog? Jeez, look at this.
The XL frog.
These are what you serve to the Americans.
Jesus Christ.
Do you like blueberries?
I do. Love a nice blueberry muffin.
Well, this might be the whole muffin.
Do you like some muffin with your blueberry?
Yes, would you like some bread in there? Yeah, an Australian farm grows blueberries that are the size of golf balls.
Jesus fucking Christ. I wonder what pesticides go into that.
Well, I mean, they grow in Australia. So, I don't know, honestly. I know that if it was America, they use a variety of different pesticides. I'm not sure what Australian agriculture is like. But
I mean, they'll probably have to stave off various insects
yeah, a
that others
single
might not.
blueberry is 20 grams.
That's quite impressive. That would definitely be up there in some fucking competitions.
Well, Mike, the way to end weird news this week, I thought we'd look at the biggest food in the world.
Okay.
Now, before we do that, would you like your puppy picture? You've not asked for it.
No, the closest I got, I think, was what was it?
They were relatively light stories, all things considering. I mean, maybe J.K. Rowling?
That was definitely close. I actually can't remember the one where I was like, do you know what? That's probably the puppy story, but so it probably wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, like, honestly, they've been relatively chill in regards to news, but would you like Puppy?
Sure.
There you go.
Puppy.
He's very derpy.
Puppy.
He's also got a little tuft of hair on the top of his head, as you can see, because he's shedding.
Same.
Now, biggest foods. I want you to see if you think you could A, eat it, and B, just respond to whatever the fuck you think this is. Because look, this
Okay.
is biggest hamburger.
No chance.
No, I'm not a huge burger person as is.
Yeah, I like burger. I like. Thank God they haven't tried to put 600 pounds worth of beef to cheese ratio, because that would be death.
Like I'm
I would.
pretty,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
I'd.
sure
I
the
would
top the
definitely be
top
able
is
to.
an entire bakery's worth of bread.
I would definitely be able to give that a go. But like, no,
I
absolutely no chance. They're using cocktail sticks to pin the pickles to it.
Yes.
That's how big that is.
I mean, he's happy about it.
Yeah, because he's never eating again.
It's a one and done kind of thing. What about coffee?
I mean, I'm not a massive coffee person, I really enjoy the smell of it, but I'm not a massive coffee person.
Neither am I, but I'll tell
Much
you
to
right now.
Fuzzy's chagrin.
Now, I will tell you, it's 2010 gallons.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So if you did
Yeah,
want
that's a
it
lot-
in one
that's a
sitting,
lot.
that is 32,160 regular cups of coffee.
You know what? That might be a little too much coffee.
What, even for
That
fuzzy?
is, I mean, that will be too much coffee because the amount of caffeine would probably kill you.
I mean, what, would you think that would be enough for fuzzy? I mean, I'll tell you right now, Lee fucking loves coffee. I could see him taking a bath in this thing.
But that would be too much coffee.
Where are you? You've disappeared, Mike.
I've gone to find my biggest coffee cup.
This is where you come back and it's like, damn, mine's only 2,000 gallons.
Mine doesn't fit.
Well, what about the biggest ice cream float?
Now,
You see,
we're
this float
talking-
has 3,000 gallons of ice cream. Now
that's pod racing.
which is 7,200 scoops of ice cream, 2,850 gallons of vanilla Coke. It's 15 foot tall.
Jesus. Now that is interesting. And also, how many people would it take?
Well, I mean, there's only one straw.
So one. No, but to be fair, you could just take it in turns.
That's true. That is very true. You know, this one I'd be down for. It's essentially just, oh, you're thirsty, here's Coke and some ice cream. You know? I don't think I sure as shit wouldn't be able to finish it, but I'd have like a couple of swigs. This is just Coke. Now, Mike, this one might be a bit more manageable. But do you think you could drink it? Do you like mojitos?
Well, yes, but they do get a little sweet after a while.
Well, is that after a while?
That might be a little too big. Not by much, but definitely a little too big.
Well, I mean, it looks like it's growing its own ecosystem.
It does.
Also,
That
I
is
love that there's
probably
like
a little
50
too
straws.
Yeah, that might be a little too big, but hey, at least this is meant for a group.
Yeah, 1,300 liters.
Yeah. What? Okay, that's too big.
Just so you know, to create it, it takes an hour and 35.
That also makes perfect sense.
I mean, it does just look like you've just thrown in any ingredients from the fridge. And we're just like, just
Fucking
you know,
a little bit of grass.
yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of that was algae. It looks like a pond.
It does a little. Frogs? Is that you?
Yes, the frogs are back. Everyone knows perfect way to enjoy frogs is with a giant mojito.
With a mojito.
The French would approve. Now, biggest nachos.
God, that's too much cheese. Immediately, too much cheese.
In fact, it is 4,689 pounds of cheese, chips,
Too much
meat, beans, and sauce.
Yeah, that's too much cheese. So like I saw on Instagram the other day this jacket American jacket potato. It was the fucking quote. And it was literally they smushed open the potato and then just put so much cheese on it you couldn't even see the potato. Now like I don't like cheese that much, but that's too much cheese.
I know, but then you're also ruining the potato.
Yeah, like they also put way too much butter on it. Like the amount of butter they put into it
so,
was like
so what they've done is they've just had all dairy and then a tiny bit of potato.
yeah, and then they added the chili on top of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you wouldn't want to over flavor your potato, with all that cheese and butter.
Yeah, it irks me
I mean,
somewhat.
this looks like something out of the movie Evolution.
I mean, that's the sandworm.
this yes, this is actually the prop department for Dune.
Lizana Gaib.
Biggest sweet tea.
That is quite big.
Not a huge fan of sweet tea. 1,140 gallons. Yeah.
I mean, I'll occasionally pick a bottle of Lipton's up for my meal deal.
Biggest pizza.
That's a lot of cheese.
That is a lot of cheese. In fact,
That's all I'm going. That's all I'm going for. That's
it
all I've
weighed
got.
27,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's it.
It is 13,580.28 square feet of pizza.
Hopefully, they put something other than just cheese and tomato on it.
Well, I think they were
Oh,
doing
it was
it
gluten free.
Oh, well, you see.
There's a
Perfect.
story behind this fucking pizza.
I mean, I feel like, they would have had to just put on the bare basic just because they're doing it for a record.
But they did it gluten free,
That is true. That is true.
made to highlight celiac disease, if that's how you say that.
It is celiac disease. Biggest sandwich.
That is not okay.
The bread to whatever the fuck is in the middle, the ratio is horrible.
That look, I mean, that it's either it's like ham, egg, and something. Okay, it says corned beef, lettuce, mustard, and cheese.
Ah, yes, the cheese looks like it is aged like fine cheese.
More like fine milk.
Like the bottom bit looks like cake. It doesn't look like
It
bread.
really does, actually. Yeah.
Is it cake? It could be. I mean, it's 3,500 pounds of bread.
Yeah.
Biggest omelette. Oh my god! Look at them all go.
That is a lot of egg.
Now I know the phrase like too many chefs, but I think for one omelette you might need this many chefs.
I mean, or they could use a digger.
That's true. That's very true. It's a 6-ounce omelette, and 14,000 pounds of egg.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I know you have to
145,000 free range eggs.
I know you have to break some eggs to make an omelette, but someone took that metaphor.
Not 145,000.
Honestly, if that was done in 2024 when the egg shortage was a thing in America, imagine how much that would have cost.
God.
Biggest
That's the but that's the part. Okay, so I'm going to be just a little bit of a bitch here.
About wasteful food?
Part of the problem with about waste. Part of the problem of like these sort of things is like no one's eating them.
I think the people who come out eventually eat it after it's been measured, but I'm pretty sure 90% of the time it's cold.
Yeah, but like no one's eating them. It like what are you going to do?
It's annoying. They like the thing with this is they have to finish the food.
Yeah.
Like obviously
Okay.
it's a lot, so invite everyone to have some, but
Yeah, this is going to be like a town's worth. Like, feed the entire town. This is actually what Jesus did.
biggest banana split. We don't have a picture, but it was
No, that's a
40,000
shame.
bananas.
That's a bit of a shame.
I mean,
The biggest
we can probably
pizza
find
of
online.
chocolate. The biggest bar of chocolate.
I mean, it looks like something you'd store in Fort Knox. It's
Hot
ridiculous.
chocolate. Yeah.
12,000 pounds of chocolate. It was done by Thorntons in the UK.
Damn. Where was it?
Not sure. It was 13 feet long though. Jesus. You do have to wonder somehow just how they make this shit. Biggest ice cream cake. Now,
Like that's quite cool, but God, so much dairy.
but also, just like this says, hopefully they got to the first bites before it started to melt. Yes, that is what I would worry about. Some of these other dishes, they just go cold, but they're still in their form.
But it's
This
fine,
thing
yeah.
would turn back into milk.
Giant freezer.
Biggest cheesecake. I'm not a huge cheesecake person.
So I like cheesecake.
Do you want 9,300 pounds of it?
No, I don't think I do.
Just for your own health.
Yeah, probably.
Biggest
Big.
cupcake. Don't have one picture,
We don't have
unfortunately.
a picture.
£2,500.
Oh,
Biggest cookie.
that's a lot of cookie.
That is a lot of cookie. There's also
Okay,
just
so
some
again,
dude standing
like,
in the center.
is it going to be a cookie? Like, it can't be what's the word?
Consistency?
No, consistency. That's the
yeah.
word. It can't be the
Yeah.
right. It can't
It
be
can't
the
be
right.
judged by the Tories.
Oh my god, voter fraud. No, it can't be the right. That word.
Yeah,
I forgot
consistency.
again.
Well, it
It
also
can't be the
depends
right
on your kind of
consistency,
cookie. Because, like,
surely.
some people like a crunchy cookie. Some people like it a bit more stodgy. But, like, you still
Yeah.
have to have it. I'd say for a cookie, you'd still have to have, a bit. It has to have a crunch. Like, it can have some stodginess, but it still has to have some kind of, like, satisfying crunch. Mike,
Yeah,
are you fine with that? That description of cookie?
sure.
Biggest slab
Oh,
of fudge?
we're starting to get a few that just aren't there.
Yeah.
Biggest taco. So I feel like the 30. Okay, I
That
was about
is
to start.
just a
do you know-
pizza. That does not
Did
look
you know-
like a taco.
No, it doesn't. So the first thing I was going to say was, do you know what? From like the hand ratio, that doesn't look like 35 feet of taco.
Maybe they have big hands.
Because that might be like if that's 35 feet, that hand is fucking ridiculous.
They just have real big hands.
But like that, okay, I would probably have a go at that bagel. That is so much bread because bagel is so much bread, right?
The fact that it's also breaking under its own weight.
Yeah. But I would probably that specific quote, taco quote, I would definitely have a go at eating.
Yeah.
But that's all very big.
Biggest pumpkin pie?
That's also very big. Anything that's like baked and shit, it's going to be very hard to eat because of
It is,
just
but also like
pure-
for things like that, especially like this, because obviously it'd be quite a deep base. I don't really want a dish that I could physically swim in.
Yeah, true.
If I can swim in it, that's too much food. Oh my fucking god, my heart just exploded.
Cinnamon roll.
Yep. Now that's
okay.
the ultimate cinnamon challenge.
Luckily, it won't be quite that bad.
That
Biggest sushi roll. That's probably doable.
Yeah, that is honestly probably doable. Out of everything, that is probably doable. That's a lot of seafood. That's a
That is
lot
a
of
lot
seafood.
of rice.
I'm more
Yeah.
thinking about the rice would fill you up. That's a lot of seafood.
Okay, now we're talking.
Biggest hot dog.
668-foot hot dog. Now, without the bread, because okay, so
What you
where's
want
the
to
600?
you want to just go start at one end and like just Mike will hold you here.
668 feet of bread is more of a challenge.
Mike will hold you here. Other side, push the hot dog down.
Oh my god! No, put it on a winch so that I can winch it myself.
Put on like a crank, like a wheel crank.
Yeah, I'll do it myself.
Oh god, and that's pretty much where we're ending it. Yeah, those were
Biggest dog biscuit.
God. I mean, I hope the dog was happy. Imagine if the dog fucking hated it. Even the dog is turning its nose up.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But yes, that is the end of Weird News. Obviously, you have stuff to do now, so I shan't keep you.
do
But
indeed.
hopefully, next week we will do some more streaming. Hopefully, some horror games. But we'll soon see.
Ooh.
But yes, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Mike, for joining me, and we shall catch you later. Goodbye!
Adios.